Good morning, class. So here we are discussing the paper Supply Chain Management, and I have already uploaded one practice question of the paper SCM for your practice. You can just go and watch, and also all the practice questions of supply chain analytics is there. You can watch and revise for your exam. Here in this video, I'll be discussing one more case study for this paper. You know, the case study is a compulsory question for 20 marks. So anyways, we need to practice this to the best possible. Okay, so let's get started. See, this is the question that I have prepared for you for the practice. The question is, the case is saying that you have been employed as a supply chain consultant, okay, of a company, manufacturing company, and the company is currently facing difficulty in, optimizing its supply chain operations, है ना? Therefore, and also the company has a global presence. It aims to, what is its aim? Its aims is to enhance the operational effectiveness, minimize expense, and elevate the customer contentment. So this is the aim, and this is the difficulty that the company is facing. Now you are required to, as you are a supply chain consultant, you are required to provide a proper strategy that can help in the progression of the supply chain, है ना? आपका supply chain क्या हो? तो goal क्या है अपना? Goal है इनका, इस company का goal क्या है? कि वो अपनी supply chain को progress कर सके, ठीक है? Progression of supply chain, inventory management हो सके. This is the second goal. This is the first goal. Third goal is risk and uncertainty management. Fourth goal is transportation optimization. Coordination with the supply chain is the fifth goal. Okay, strategic procurement is the sixth goal, and analysis of the large data. Okay, so you are required to offer some concrete illustration, कुछ ऐसे examples या illustration या tactics देकर आपको बताना है कि किस तरह से ये सारे challenges को company meet कर सकता है और अपने आप को better position कर सकता है in the supply chain. Okay, so this is the question, and let's see how we can deal with this question. Okay, so firstly you need to introduction जो आपका होगा वो 2-3 सेंटेंस में आप क्वेश्चन से ही कॉपी पेस्ट करते हो, जहां आप लिखते हो you are just summarizing the questions कि okay, the question is asking that this company which is facing some challenges relating to global supply chain operations, है ना? And in order to address these challenges, it needs to have a operational effectiveness, then minimize the expenses, elevate the customer satisfaction, right? So this is the so you are required to provide a strategy. The strategy किस पर फोकस करना है? Strategy has to focus on supply chain progression. ठीक है, इनका गोल यही है. इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट दूसरा गोल था. Uncertainty, risk and uncertainty management was the third goal. Transportation optimization fourth, and supply chain coordination, strategic procurement, and big data analytics. So these are the goals on which we have to make the strategy as a supply chain consultant. Sorry, strategy. Okay, so the first one is supply chain progression. So this is the strategy that we can provide the company, that the company should, if it wants to progress in supply chain, that the company must digitize itself. Okay, so so the supply chain should be digitized in order to improve the visibility, communication, and collaboration among the supply chain. It needs to digitize. So digitization is the key. That this is the one strategy that we can provide the company. Next is supply chain network optimization. So the मतलब उनको बताना होगा कि optimize अगर आपको supply chain को करना है तो आपको supply chain के पूरे network को optimize करना होगा, keeping in mind all the factors जो उसको affect करते हैं, like the production location, like the distribution center, जो भी आपके parties हैं उनका network जो है ना वो optimum होना चाहिए, है ना? तो this is the next, and the third one is supply chain agility. You should suggest as a consultant that the company, you need to have a supply chain agility, means you should be working at the real time, you should be working digitalized, so that if there is any change in the market condition, then you should be able to uh, cope up with or come up with those changes. Okay, and respond to the changes quickly. Okay, then only you can progress in your supply chain. Okay, so these are the three suggestions that I have provided you for the supply chain progression. You can use one or two in the exams. Okay, even two if you write, that supply chain digitalization or supply chain network optimization, supply chain agility will be enough. Moving to the next one, inventory management. दूसरा सजेशन क्या देना था आपको, गोल क्या था उनका, इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट. तो इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट की फर्स्ट इज the demand forecasting should be very accurate. So with the use of this data analytics and historical data, the demand should be accurately forecasted, and that can only reduce the stock out or excess stock वाला केस है ना. दूसरा है इन्वेंट्री ऑप्टिमाइजेशन के लिए बहुत सारे टूल्स और सॉफ्टवेयर्स होते हैं, जैसे कि एबीसी एनालिसिस है, ईओक्यू मॉडल्स है, सेफ्टी स्टॉक है. तो इनमें से कोई भी आप बेटर अप्लाई करके अपने इन्वेंट्री को मिनिमाइज करके रखो उनका, ताकि उसका मतलब अपने इन्वेंट्री को मिनिमाइज नहीं, अपनी इन्वेंट्री को ऑप्टिमाइज करके रखो, जिससे उनका होल्डिंग कॉस्ट और कैरिंग कॉस्ट वगैरह जो है वो मिनिमाइज हो जाए, है ना. तीसरा, आप जिट इन्वेंट्री का यूज कर सकते हो, बिकॉज आपने देखा है बहुत सारी कंपनी जो है जिट इन्वेंट्री का यूज करती है, मीन्स दे रिड्यूस द इन्वेंट्री लेवल and they improve the inventory turnover. Okay, they focus on this. So this can be one suggestion. Okay, so moving towards the risk and uncertainty management. So risk and uncertainty management means you need to manage the risk. Okay, so in that, the first thing that can be done is risk identification and assessment. Okay, so the first suggestion can be risk identification and assessment. Means you can suggest the company that it should have a regular risk assessment, है ना. उनका risk assessment जो है वो regular होना चाहिए, so that the risk can be identified before it creates some damage. Okay, so some that potential risk can be identified and mitigated well before it occurs. Okay, तो रेगुलर रिस्क असेसमेंट होना चाहिए. दूसरा है सप्लाई चेन रेजिलेंस. मतलब कि सप्लाई चेन रेजिलेंस का मतलब होता है ना कि इट शुड ऑलवेज हैव अ प्लान बी. हर चीज का सब्स्टिट्यूट होना चाहिए. ओके, और कम्युनिकेशन बिटवीन ऑल द पार्टीज शुड बी रोबस्ट. रोबस्ट मींस इट शुड द कम्युनिकेशन और द इंफॉर्मेशन शुड फ्लो सीमलेसली. ओके, तो दिस इज वन थिंग. तो इस तरह से क्या होता है कि अगर इफ द प्रोडक्शन नोज की इन्वेंट्री में भी ज्यादा है, तो प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट विल नॉट बी प्रोड्यूसिंग. एंड सिमिलरली अगर इन्वेंट्री से आ रहा है कि द स्टॉक इज लाइक stock is at its safety level or whatever, then the production and the distribution can act accordingly, है ना. तो इसलिए कहा जा रहा है कि कम्युनिकेशन और सप्लाई चेन seamlessly, information should flow seamlessly between all the parties is must. Okay, the third is contingency planning. Again it's saying that there should be contingency planning to address any potential disruption. किसी भी पार्टी से, किसी भी सप्लायर से अगर कोई आपका की सप्लायर है, तो देयर शुड बी सम सब्स्टिट्यूट और प्लान बी विद दैट, बिकॉज अगर कहीं वहां पर डैमेज मतलब इशू आया, देन इट शुड बी compensated with the plan B. Okay, so always the contingency plan should be there. Let it be related to natural disaster, geographical events, or any supplier failure event. Okay, so this can be done for the risk and uncertainty management. Next question, the company actually wants to know about how to optimize the transportation. So here the first thing is route optimization. So if you want to optimize the transportation, then the first thing is you have to optimize the route, है ना. तो रूट ऑप्टिमाइजेशन के सॉफ्टवेयर आते हैं, मैंने डिस्कस भी किया था. टीएमएस, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, जो कि सॉफ्टवेयर है टू मिनिमाइज द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट एंड रिड्यूस द डिलीवरी लीड टाइम्स. ठीक है, ये हो गया पहला पॉइंट. दूसरा हो गया मोड सिलेक्शन. मोड सिलेक्शन का मतलब क्या होता है कि which mode you are selecting. Okay, and that should be dependent on the distance, the volume, the urgency of the shipments. Okay, so this is one thing. Then collaboration of the transportation. Collaboration is also very important, that in house और outbound सारे मतलब आपके जो होते हैं वो collaborate होने चाहिए, otherwise then आपको इश्यू आ सकता है ना. तो collaboration with the manufacturer or logistic can provide the collaborate shipments and also reduce the transportation cost. So this is the suggestion or the strategy you can provide for the transportation optimization. देन द नेक्स्ट वन वाज कोऑर्डिनेशन विद इन द सप्लाई चेन. तो सप्लाई चेन के अंदर अंदर जो है वो कोऑर्डिनेशन कैसे करना है. तो सबसे पहले आपको प्लानिंग करनी होगी, कोऑर्डिनेशन प्लानिंग कि हाउ the suppliers and the customers and the distributors and the inventory managers and the production house all can be integrated and collaborated. ठीक है, तो इसकी प्लानिंग करनी है. फिर इंफॉर्मेशन शेयरिंग मींस कैसे रियल टाइम इंफॉर्मेशन को सारे पार्टीज में शेयर करना है ताकि आपका विजिबिलिटी या ट्रांसपेरेंसी बढ़े. उसके बाद आपको परफॉर्मेंस मेट्रिक रखना है. परफॉर्मेंस मेट्रिक का मतलब है ट्रैक, जो की परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर्स को जो ट्रैक करे, है ना, ताकि आपको पता लग पाए कि which party is like not coming well. Okay, so okay, so that way you can measure the supply chain performance and identify areas for improvement. Okay, so this way the coordination within the supply chain can be improved. नेक्स्ट वॉज स्ट्रेटेजिक प्रोक्योरमेंट, है ना. तो स्ट्रेटेजिक प्रोक्योरमेंट कैसे करना है. तो सबसे पहली चीज है आपको सप्लायर रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट करना होगा. ठीक है, तो आपका जो सप्लायर रिलेशनशिप है ना, दैट शुड बी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग. स्ट्रॉन्ग का मतलब है कि व्हाट वाज द सजेशन गिवन इन द यूनिट. द सजेशन गिवन वाज टू कोलैबोरेट. इनके साथ बेटर है कि आप पार्टनरशिप या कोलैबोरेट करो ताकि आप क्वालिटी और कंट्रोल दोनों को improve कर सकते हो. साथ ही साथ आपका लीड टाइम रिड्यूस हो जाए बिकॉज दे विल बी नोइंग, दे विल बी देयर इन द कम्युनिकेशन चैनल, दे विल बी देयर विद all the information sharing so that they also know ki what are the changes or what are the market demand is going on. Okay, so the first key thing is build a strong relationship with the supplier. Okay, the next is supplier evaluation. You need to evaluate the supplier well before appointing him. You need to evaluate him on factors such as quality, cost, delivery reliability, sustainability practices. इन सब पर आपको उसको एक बार इवेल्युएट करना चाहिए. फिर सप्लाई स्ट्रेटेजिक सोर्सिंग का मतलब क्या है कि यू नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई द अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर स्ट्रेटेजिक सोर्सिंग. मतलब कैसे, कहाँ पर रिड्यूस किया, कहाँ पर क्या किया जाए, सस्टेनेबिलिटी लाया जाए, क्या किया जाए. तो जैसे कि आपका क्या हो कि कॉस्ट भी रिड्यूस हो और साथ ही साथ सप्लाई चेन इफेक्टिवनेस भी बढ़े, एफिशिएंसी भी बढ़े, है ना. So this is the suggestion that can be given for strategic procurement. Last one was how to analyze this large scale data. जो large scale data आ रहा है उसको analyze कैसे किया जाए ताकि productive information मिल सके, ताकि decision making में help हो. तो here the suggestion can be given to use some big data analytics. बहुत सारे big data analytics है जिसको use किया सकता है. So that big data analytics helps to analyze the large scale data sets and also gain insights into supply chain performance. Okay, so the customer behavior, the market trend, the predictive analysis, so all these can be used to forecast the accurate demand, to have an inventory level management, improve the decision making as a whole. And at the last, you can just write a conclusion of 2 to 3 sentences that by implementing all the proposed strategy that has been given, the company can reduce the cost and improve the customer satisfy, also gain a competitive edge. So this is basically, it is suggested to have a continuous monitoring and continuous improvement and optimize of the supply chain performance to adapt to the changing condition and have a long-term success. So this is the way we write answers for the case studies in the exam to have 20 marks. If you write your answer this way, then you will be gaining 20 out of 20 because you have taken up all the points that was asked in the exam. You have given a proper introduction also. You have concluded also. So this is the way we write papers. Okay. So this was a practice question. Now next I'll be coming up with a practice question from each of the units. Okay. So you can also watch the previous videos where I have already given the practice question of SCA also and one practice question of this paper also. Okay. So thank you so much. If you like the video, then you can just give a thumbs up. And also if you have any confusion, you can write in the comment box. Also, many times I forget resharing the video. So what you can do is you can just subscribe the channel so that you get the update of the video I am giving you. Okay. Whatever I will be uploading, that will be updated to you. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye bye.